Welcome, welcome. This is such fun. I have had so much fun doing this all. There's so many layered ideas and y'all are going to be able to take anything you want out of it or nothing, or just simply whatever you want to do. We're going to call it the Mitered Tunic. So on May 26th, we released a Fit to Stitch series. It was series 10 and it was the Tailor, Natalia, and she did a mitered corner. Okay, and she did a mitered corner on the bottom of a men's suit coat. And I got a couple of emails saying, if you do women's, then why do you do mitered corners on men's coats? It was just to show you that you could do mitered corner anywhere. And I don't do a lot of mitered corners, and yet I love them. So a couple weeks ago, after we put this up, I was shopping and I was at Giorgio Armani, and I saw, I flipped up at least 5 different outfits that had mitered corners. And I thought, okay, I've just got to start mitering. So coupled with that, we had denim in before, and every time we have denim in, it comes and goes so freaking fast. It's frustrating. So this time I decided, we got some denim in, I wanted a denim tunic. And then on the bottom, I could do my mitered corners. So that's kind of how it all evolved. And then there was more layers to that, but I'll get to that. So anyway, so the first thing I did is I took the denim. And denim, you know, when you first get it in, it was at the store and a couple customers said, oh, it's so stiff. I said, no, you wash it in Coca-Cola. So I haven't talked about this for a little while. I'm going to tell you that I put 2 yards of denim, and I put this bottle of Coca-Cola, this size, and I put it in a front loader, and I washed it. No soap, no nothing, cold water, just let it go. And then I did it again. When it came out, it was soft, but I wanted it to be softer, so I did it again. So this is actually, and if you look at the difference between how this drapes and how this drapes, I mean, it's just night and day. This is like cardboard, this is like, linen. It's just wonderful, the difference. It's amazing, the difference. So whatever's in this stuff is just terrible. No. But anyway, so I washed the denim. But keep in mind, you guys, that it's not just denim. I put some fabrics back here. This is a rayon. It could be washed. I'm not going to tell you what to wash and what not, but you could throw it in with anything. Anything that can be washed can be softened with this. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay. So that's step 1. My tunic, I wanted to be pattern 450, Nancy's blouse, because it's just such a great tunic. It's Tory Burch. It's just such a great tunic. So that's what my start was. I wanted it to be denim. I wanted it to be soft. I washed it. I wanted it to be 450. I wanted it to be longer because I was going to miter the corners, which I've mitered all of my corners. I'm going to go around going like this. But anyway, so the other thing I did is I wanted it to be simple. And so I'm going to show you, let me show you the first picture of this denim tunic. And when I looked at this, I liked it. There's nothing not to like about it, except, you can't do that straight line stuff. It makes you all look heavier. You've got to do some shaping to make you look thinner. And especially if you're using a fabric it's not heavy, but thicker, you've got to give some shaping to it. So if you look at the next picture, we start to see, and I started to put up the differences. So what you want to avoid is so many horizontal lines. Tunics naturally are going to have a little bit of horizontal, because you've got a waist, you've got some horizontal, but you want to minimize those horizontal lines. So I showed you one and I showed you the other in ways to minimize it. Leave off the pockets. Pockets aren't your friend, especially right at your chest. Anytime you have a collar and then the shoulder line, those are 2 separate because where the collar breaks. So, and then look at this next one. Again, I just want you to look at both of them and then see the differences. Okay, and then be careful of your proportions when you go to make it long. I had it be right, if you have it right where you grab your hand, the bottom, just naturally lay your hands down and grab the bottom. That's just going to be a perfect length for any of you. Then if you put your waist, the elastic at your waist, you'll naturally get like a 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5, somewhere in there. So I added 7 inches to the bottom of my pattern. That's what I needed to make it right for me. Remember, you can always add too much and then cut it off. And then just something I did is I actually did the back longer than the front, just by 2 inches. But I love that. I love when the back's longer. I love my rear end to be covered. Okay, so that was in mind. I kind of looked at all these denim. I wanted it to have elastic. You don't want the elastic to be too wide because again, that creates another horizontal, but it needs to be more than 1/4 of an inch because the denim is heavier. Well, the elastic won't retain itself when it's that small. It'll get stitched and it'll stretch out. So then what I did is I kept in mind the whole time, easy, simplify. So I made a kimono sleeve, and you know you do that. You fold the sleeve in half, you overlap it here, you gap it down there, you gap it right there, make a little gap there, and then simply just connect this two. And that's all of your styling. And you do the same thing into the front. You go ahead and you lap it right here at the top, the seam allowance. You gap it right there where it meets under the armhole, and then you just draw the little connecting. I made mine short sleeve, so mine look like that. And generally, once you make the front, trace the angle of it onto the back so that they match when you sew them together. Okay? Okay, very easy to make a kimono. And the reason you make the kimono is just there's one less step. Kimono being one piece, just a little bit easier. So then I got sent this next picture, and this next picture has these little shoulder slits. And I thought they were so cute. Just, you know, because it's a little summer tunic, and I just thought to have a little shoulder is really cute. So literally you have a seam there anyway that's on a kimono sleeve. So I just stopped stitching just right 1/2 inch after where the yoke comes in. Move my hair out of the way. Just a 1/2 inch. And then I left the slit to be open 6 inches. And again, that was just my choice. You know, my sleeves down to my elbow. All kind of things. But I just thought it was kind of cute to have this cute little slit there on the shoulders. Okay, so see, all these decisions get made. I decided that I wanted this fabric, my yoke fabric, to be a little different. I wanted it to be denim-y, but I saw some really cute ones. I saw where they used pink as a contrast because pink is so popular right now. Orange is a contrast. There were so many cute ideas. If you decided to use this fabric right here, this damask that we have online, look at how cool that would be to make one side this side and one side the other side. I thought that was just really marvelous. But my denim, the contrasting fabric on this is 5521, or close to that, 5522 something. Okay, so, and I just cut that out of the 2 yoke pieces, and you sew it on the inside, you bring it out to the outside. We've had a sew along with Nancy's top, so you should be good. I don't know if we had a sew along, but it was a POM a little while ago. So everything there should be good. Okay, now we're gonna just show you miter in the corner, just for fun, just for this. So I have a series of 9 pictures. 9 pictures, and we're just gonna go step by step. And so the reason I want to do this in pictures is because you literally could just, you know, put it on your phone and put it in your sewing room and sew step 1, step 2, step 3, and it'll come out and it's beautiful. I mean, it's so cool. I just like the fact, I've not really done mitered corners before, and I just think they're so pretty because let's look at this first picture. What you do is, you know, anytime you have a hem and an opening, so it could be many places. It could be a neckline. There's many places it could be. Anytime you fold up one and fold up the other. And we do that a lot when you think about it. So, you know, typically you fold a facing in and then you fold a hem up. Typically the hem is last. But, you know, I mean, I've seen garments done all kinds of different ways. So this very first picture shows you making the fold. Make the fold. When you do a miter, usually both of those folds are even, but they don't have to be. They do not have to be. So just keep that in mind. So you're going to fold both of them up. And once you fold both of them up, and you have them where you want them, you're going to go to the next picture. And you can see that what I'm doing is I'm tucking under the piece that's on top. I'm folding it under to give me a diagonal. It's just folded under. That's all. Then the next step, I'm coming in with my handy little Tailor's chalk, and we sell the Tailor's chalk, you guys. It's wonderful. I mean, I use Tailor's chalk a lot. I don't think I've ever used it in so long because my darts are already marked. Anyway, so what I'm doing now is I'm marking both of those fold lines. And you just want to use your colors that are contrast to your, you know, I think we have red and we have yellow and we have blue and we have white. So you just want to use whatever's contrary to the fabric color that you're using. Okay, so you mark both folds, both sides of those folds where they are. One's the fold and one's where it's not folded. Okay, then you open it up and you're going to bring those two, the folds are on the right side. You're going to bring those two folds together is what the next picture is showing you. And then the next picture is showing you where you're bringing the folds together. I put pins there. And then the next picture is showing you stitching. So it's just one by one. The folding is in the middle. The marking, the chalk is the right side. You're putting that together. If you had to and you had to transfer it to the wrong side, you could do that. But you're going to find it's really easy to do. Just chalk that and chalk it accurately from top to bottom. Here's my little sample. You know, once you've got it folded, chalk that really good. Remember the chalk comes off. Okay, and then the next picture you see what I'm doing is I'm cutting away. Now, when Natalia did this, our tailor on PBS, she did not cut away. She said that, you know, there's times that you make a mistake, there's times where it doesn't turn out right, but you know what, I wanted to cut away. So you fold that little tip in, turn it to the right side, and then you've got your mitered corner, and then you can see the last one, I just took a picture of the corner, and then the chalk that I used, obviously. And also when you take this corner, you want to fold it. I mean, I just think it lays better when it's cut out, but you can decide. I mentioned to you that Natalia leaves it in just so that if you want to leave it in, you can. You don't have to cut away all that fabric if you want to leave it. So that's our mitered tunic. The mitered tunic is what it is. And then I came back, you guys, and I put little crystals, because I just loved the little crystals. So it can be my crystallized mitered tunic or something like that. But anyway, the goal is to play and have fun. Fabric, Coca-Cola, simple. Keep it simple. Not Diet Coke, not Diet Pepsi, not any of that. Coca-Cola. If you have a top loader, you'll have to use a quart. You'll have to use more Coca-Cola. The front loaders don't take as much. Wash it a couple times. Wash it 3 or 4 times. Use the whole 6-pack. But don't use more Coca-Cola in one washing. Do more washings with the same amount of Coca-Cola. That would be my tip for the day. All right, and then get the pattern, the 450 tunic, and just have some fun. And make a tunic that you love. I love this tunic. Put on a belt. Don't put on a belt. It doesn't make a difference. Anytime you gather in the waist, it's always going to be a positive. It doesn't have to be tight. It doesn't have to be any of that. But it's always going to be a positive when you put a little bit of shaping to that waist. Okay? Happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.